So excited to be talking about sports in business today because has anyone else been following March Madness this last couple weeks? Do we have any athletes, sports fans watching? Because that is what really inspired my topic today, which is really just associating how, aesthetic business is really a game, and how we approach it will greatly influence your success, right? And the outcomes. And so every day we're presented with really new challenges and opportunities, and it's up to us to get in the game or to sit on the sidelines and communicating that same message to our team, to our children, right? And those surrounding us. So today, I wanted to unpack what aesthetic business leaders really can learn from sports and apply it every single day to make an impact with their patients, with their team, and ultimately grow your business. Now, growing up, I was a big time athlete. We were a sports family. We didn't go to Hawaii on vacation. Our family time, our family vacations was going to tournaments, basketball tournaments, track meets. We've traveled all over the country doing it. I went to sport camp after sport camp. My family probably spent more money on my sports than they did on my college education. I was an accomplished high school and collegiate athlete. And even in my adult years, if you know me, you know I did some crazy athletic feats from, marathons to Ironmans, right? And so I am a massive believer in how sports can greatly impact your life in your business. And I always talk about how I learned more in sports than I ever did in traditional education. And I apply the grit and discipline and mindset that I learned in sports to really drive my business in my team, in how I lead them, and how I lead my clients as well. And so today I really wanted to kind of share, even if you're an athlete or not, you can still appreciate some great lessons that come from sports and great sport leaders. And I wanted to share a little bit about some of the inspirational coaches and their history and contribution to sports, and what I think really are like the world, because you can apply that same messaging and impact that they've had in your own life, in your own business, with your own team. So during March Madness, they do a lot of flashbacks and history and interviews of great players and coaches. And there were a few that stuck out to me that I kind of wanted to wrap in a few lessons that I think can absolutely be applied to aesthetic business. So the great Rick Pitino, basketball coach, one of the things that he's been quoted saying is how failure is good. Failure is good. It's like fertilizer. Everything that he claims to have learned in coaching and in basketball, he's learned from his mistakes. And I will tell you that fear holds so many people back in their business, working with their patients. Fear is paralyzing to a team, to a provider, to a business. And so if you can create an environment, a culture where you and your team are not afraid to make mistakes, wow, the sky is the limit. Because you can, first off, you can never succeed if you're not willing to get in the game, right? If you're so afraid of failing and just sitting on the sidelines, like you're too afraid to ask the patient for the big treatment plan, right? You're too afraid to ask for more hours. You're too afraid to buy the device. You're too afraid to invest in marketing, and you just sit on the sideline. You're never going to get to where you want to be. Now, I'm not saying to, rush into things and make poor decisions, but man, the fear of failure has greatly held many aesthetic business owners, many aesthetic providers back from ever coming close to achieving what really their true destiny is. And so if you can create an environment where your team isn't afraid to fail, right? Where your team isn't afraid to bring ideas to the table, where you're not afraid as a business owner to invest in your business, to take risks. That is what it takes really to be successful, right? Is to not allow the fear of failure to paralyze you from getting in the game. Another great coach, Dawn Staley, she is, I think, she became just the highest paid women's basketball coach of all time. So that's really cool for her. One of the things that she's quoted, and I remember as a little girl growing up watching her on the women's Olympic team. That was when also the Dream Team was really big on the Wheaties box, right? That was a huge Olympic year for women's basketball. And so it's so cool now, years and years later, to see her become, the highest paid women's basketball coach of all times. And one of the things that I love about her is she talks about how a lot of people will notice when you succeed, but they don't know what it actually took for you to get there. And I think that that's so powerful because I see a lot of young people or a lot of new aesthetic business owners or even new aesthetic providers that see others make it look really easy on Instagram, right? That they had overnight success, that they did a couple TikTok dances and they're an instant success, right? That there was no trial and tribulations, that they didn't spend hours studying and practicing or investing tens of thousands of dollars to get to where they are right now, or that they showed up every single day on social media when no one was listening, when no one was clicking or commenting except for their mom, right? That they still showed up every single day to get better at their craft. And all they see is that they think that, that it was an overnight success, that everything that they have done is a success. And honestly, that's just not reality. But the fact of the matter is most people aren't willing to do what it takes to be successful. Have you ever heard that saying is like, everyone wants to be John Wayne in the movie, but no one's willing to die to do it, right? Everyone wants to be the hero, but they're not willing to do what it takes to be successful. They're not willing to do what it takes to be, the best injector in town, to have the biggest med spa in town, because that requires showing up every single day, being a student of the game, getting better, not just at your immediate craft, right? But if you're a med spa owner or a leader, like not only do you got to be good at business and marketing and leadership and communication and team builder, and I mean, it just goes on and on, right? But you got to be a student of the game and you got to get in the game to play, right? And we got to communicate that is what you desire and seek of your team as well. At Diamond Accelerator, I'm all about having what I call intrapreneurs on my team. I want people on my team that love my baby like I love my baby, that treat my baby like it's their baby, right? They may not want to run their own business, but they're an entrepreneur, that they care so much, that they're so passionate about being the best at their craft and delivering the best results to their clients, that they run themselves, that they're self-accountable to themselves and their growth and the delivery of their services and experience to their clients, that I call them an entrepreneur. And if I'm an aesthetic business owner, that's the qualities that I'm looking for in my team as well, because those people are willing to do what it takes to be successful, right? And when they see you mirroring that and expecting that and pulling people into your team and setting that standard of excellence in your culture, it levels everyone else's game out. And when I surround myself with team members that I see are doing that themselves, it challenges me to be better as a leader, to continue to grow my skill set, right? And that brings me to another great coach, Tom Izzo from Michigan State. He says, discipline is the highest form of love. If you really love someone, you have to give them the level of discipline that they need. And a little while ago, I had a great conversation with one of my team members, and we joke and we kid about she's actually watching right now. She'll know exactly who she is, but she jokes about how in the beginning I was so tough on her, and she just to just like rise to the level that I knew that she was capable of, right? But it was still new. And that in hindsight, while it was tough, she's so glad that I held her to such a high standard, because it's made her so much better at her job. And she feels so proud and successful and an expert in her job. And she's nice to say, like, oh, I'm so glad, that you held me accountable, because and she did the work, right? It wasn't me, she did the work. But she recognizes that that was my form of like love and caring for her, right? And I am an intense person in life in general, not just with my clients and my team, but also with my friends, because I want them to live their absolute best life, whatever that means for them. I'm not about, just sitting back and chilling. Like, I want adventure, I want fun, I want, experiences. I want to win, and I'm okay with losing too, because I've learned so many great lessons from losing. I want to experience it all, and to hold those around you, your team, your partners, to being their best version of themselves, and not accepting mediocrity, really, in my opinion, is the best form of love and commitment to helping them achieve the life that they desire, right? I don't think that it's being mean. I don't think that you're being selfish, right? I think that, again, if you want to roll with me, you got to be open and okay with that style and of that mindset of, she's pushing me because she knows that I am capable of meeting those high expectations. She is pushing me because she knows that I'm going to feel so proud, right? She knows how much money I want to make. And so she sees the pathway of how I can do it, and she's guiding me on how I can get there. But if you don't have those conversations, if you don't pick those people to be at the seat of your table, the right people that can see that as a positive versus a victim mindset of like, oh, this is just being so hard on me, right? Then you're not developing the culture and team and the people that really you need to be surrounding yourself. So keep that in mind. If people don't view discipline as the highest form of love, you're gonna have a hard time on your team and your culture. And the last one that I want to leave you with, and this has been game changer for me, is the great John Wooden. He said, it's amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. And this is something that, probably in the last 5 years has been game changer for me. So I've been doing aesthetic consulting and marketing for well over a decade, but for half of that, I couldn't serve that many people because I was one person. I was of the mindset that, I can't outsource, or I can't grow a team. I can't delegate this to anyone else because I'm the only one can do it, right? My clients only want to talk to me. No one can do it as good as I can do it, right? I've tried hiring people in the past, it just failed. And I see so many aesthetic business owners get caught in this mindset trap that no one else can do it but them. And I can tell you that my life and my business got substantially better when I learned that you can accomplish so much more with a team. That your life, you can win back so much more time, not only to continue to pour and grow into your business, but to pour and grow into yourself and your family, right? And so now that takes really operationalizing and systematizing and getting your greatness that is naturally just inside of you onto paper. But what I will tell you is that when you do that the right way with systems, right? And because systems create greater not only efficiency, productivity, but consistency. So whoever you delegate it to can get that same result at a consistent level. That's when you're going to really want to grow and expand your team. And not only is your business going to skyrocket, but you're going to get so much satisfaction in seeing your business grow and your life and really kind of your heart, right? Because you then begin to have others around you love your baby like you love your baby. And it's such a rewarding experience at the end of the day. But it's not easy to change that mentality. It's not easy to build those systems to then for it to finally click that this is that missing link, right? This is how I grow without working 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. This is how I can really create the lifestyle that I dream of. And that's just not having the most successful business, right? That's one element that's absolutely important. But I want multifaceted women, business owners that have it all, that get it all. And I want that for my team as well. And so when you can, share how you're able to achieve that, right? And be that example for your team, that's when you create really loyal team members that are going to grow with you, right? Because, aesthetic business owners, we hear this all the time. It's like, oh, we lost, they went out on their own, right? Because everyone sees you, all this money coming in, right? And they don't understand how expensive it is to run the business and how many costs that they don't even think about and realize it exists because they do the simple math, right? They do the math of like it costs, this much for a vial of syringe, of filler, right? And you pay me my wage and then all of it else is like gravy. Well, that's not reality, right? There's so many expenses that they don't think about. But if we aren't cultivating a culture of entrepreneurs and making it a win-win for everyone, that's when you lose people. So I hope that you can apply some of the lessons that I shared with you today. And again, sports is like a universal language, in my opinion, that no matter what business you are in or part of your life that so many people can relate to. And I love using sports analogies with team and clients. So I encourage you to check that out. And if you love this training, make sure that you share it with your team or another med spa that you think could benefit. And you can catch the replay on our YouTube channel and to get access to more free trainings that can really help your aesthetic business grow. Make sure that you visit our link tree in the social bio and join me every single week live on Wednesdays, 2:30 Central Time, same place. Find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And next week, we're going to be at AmSpa. So if you have been following and watching, please make sure I'm speaking on Saturday. And the Diamond Accelerator girls are going to be on site. Some of us, not all of us, but we have a booth at AmSpa. So please be sure and come and say hi. In fact, we are giving away a 1.5 carat diamond solitaire necklace at AmSpa. So be sure to come and visit us at our booth. So thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. And I will stay